Hello and welcome to the Not the Old Firm YouTube channel. My name is Ben Banks. Today's video, an exclusive interview with Hibs Chief Executive Ben Kensell. We hope you do enjoy. Remember to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Yeah, we've got plenty of Hibs stuff on the way. The YouTube channel looks a bit like our Hibs TV channel at the minute with the amount of Hibs stuff we're doing, but it is so busy at Hibs. We have got a lot of access there, which we are always grateful for. So we had the review of Mull 2, Hibs 3. Yesterday, as I record this on the 4th of August, get this today, and across our website and socials we'll have sort of similar type interviews with Jack Ross and a Hibs player ahead of their UEFA Europa Conference League third round qualifier against Rijeka. Speaking to Ben for sort of roughly about 8 minutes. By the time we got to do an hour one-to-one, he'd already done a few. So if there aren't any perhaps obvious questions asked, simply trying to make this a bit different to both for you watching and for Ben to answer. Speaking about, he'd already been asked a lot about Josh Doyle, of course, linked with a £4 million move away from Hibs. That looks like it could be done at least in this window. Jack Ross leaving out of his squad on Sunday against Mull as English interest mounts. Ben speaking about the sort of Brexit impact on Scottish football and why English clubs are now looking at younger talents like Josh Doyle and a few others in the Hibs Academy. Speaking about the return of fans as well, perhaps slightly the only thing I'm slightly annoyed about is that we recorded this must have been less than an hour before Nicola Sturgeon's announcement, the First Minister, on the capacity crowds, and you still need to apply for permission. Timing is a wonderful thing, not in this case anyway. But I spoke about the return of fans anyway with the knowledge we had at the time of recording. Speaking about his long-term goals and sort of how he needs to plan them out, his short-term ambition for Hibs, why he decided to leave his role as Norwich's operating officer after 7 successful years having worked his way up from the commercial department, and as well as that, how Scottish football can market itself better. So still think there's plenty of interesting stuff in this. We hope you do enjoy it. Remember to like this video and subscribe to the channel, and until next time, take care.
Ben, first league game, European games, a player potentially going for millions of pounds. I mean, quiet week.
Quiet week, yeah. It's it's been a great week and great to get to know a few of the staff, not all of them yet. Both at HTC and Easter Road. Obviously spent a bit of time with Jack, Graham and Greg and a few of the senior staff here, but really enjoyed my first week, really enjoyed being in this beautiful city, and I've even met a few of the fans in passing, so it's been a good week.
You got a first taste of Scottish football live on Sunday, felt like a proper game.
Yeah, it was a proper game. It was a proper game with a proper atmosphere, great result. We showed real character, I felt, but actually the thing that struck with me, the thing that I was most excited about seeing was just the sheer passion that the Scottish fans have, whether it be Motherwell or Hibernian fans. I felt that they stuck that goal in, or them goals in the second half. It was a real joy to be there, and I genuinely feel very privileged and honoured to be given this role at Hibernian.
In terms of your coming in here, you've been at Norwich for 7 years. What was it that sort of attracted you to Hibs?
Well, it was a new challenge for me, having spent 7 very successful years at Norwich. It was a great club to be a part of, but I felt that I'd probably achieved everything that I possibly could, and I wanted a new challenge. And when I heard that there was an opportunity here, and Ron got in touch, from my perspective, I was sold pretty much straight away, but on the basis that I knew a bit about the club, from history, from a tradition, from a footballing perspective, but Ron is a very inspirational person, an aspirational person to work for and to work on behalf of. So once we had a few conversations, it became very clear that I really wanted to be part of something here.
He took his time. I think it was 7 or 8 months he took to figure it out. Why do you think he picked you?
Well, I mean, I wasn't part of that process for that period of time, but you'll have to ask him, but I'd like to think I bring some good qualities. I think there's a nice balance between the on-pitch and HTC side of the club, so on-pitch side of football, and then the off-pitch kind of side. And the business side, I'm obviously well versed in. We've got an excellent individual in Greg here and his team. And then also on the footballing side, I've worked with a sporting director before in Stuart Webber, and now we've got Graham here at Hibs. So I think I'm well balanced to sit in between the two, and I feel I've probably had that journey with a self-financed club in Norwich that probably appealed to Ron, and I've done it for a few years now. So I'm a bit long in the tooth when it comes to working in football. Not as long as others, but I certainly feel I can bring some fresh energy and a bit of vigour to our plans moving forward.
Coming from a commercial background, I'm aware you've only been in the job a week, but how do you think sort of Scottish football as a whole sort of markets itself, especially down south, perhaps get a bit of a kicking down south?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think there's room to grow, is what I would say, and that's a view after 1 week. I think we have to grow as a league. I think there's opportunities in broadcast. I think there's opportunities in partnerships, the hospitality, the retail elements of our club. We need to take to the next level, but we need to get the foundations right, and you know, that's why I'm so keen to speak to supporters, because they will tell me honestly what we have at the club and what we're doing and what we're perhaps not doing so well, and that's why I'm so keen, and that's why I've reached out and spoke to someone to organise a face-to-face kind of meeting with fans, which I want to do quite regularly, to ensure that we actually start delivering on some of the things that we're planning on doing and communicating appropriately.
I heard you saying up there that perhaps going to the fans rather than them coming to you. Have you got an idea what that looks like? I can imagine that if you turned up in a pub somewhere in the middle of Edinburgh, I'd probably get some reception.
well, I'm not sure, but no, I've already had some well wishes, and they've all been very positive and very lovely to date. But no, for me, it needs to be quite authentic. It can't be forced. It's got to be quite genuine, and I am quite a genuine guy, if I'm being completely honest. I don't massively believe in hierarchy too much. So for me, you know, I want to make this club better by speaking to those that are so passionate about it, and that means the staff, but also that means predominantly the fans. And you know, I can't get round to every fan, but what I hope to do is have a voice and have an opportunity for them to have their voice, and so we can discuss and we can be transparent with each other, and I think that should hopefully be the basis of a good foundation moving forward, regardless of win, lose or draw. And I think that's how we take the club to another level, along with investment strategy, on pitch, off pitch performances, and you know, I want to bring them on the journey with us.
A lot of talk about Josh Doig this week, but perhaps on a broader point, Norwich especially signed players like Archie Mayer, Aidan Fitzpatrick, and even players came down here on loan in the sort of aftermath of Brexit. Is this a market you obviously know well, but one you're going to have to guard against when people do come in for Josh Doig and other players at the club who are attracting interest?
Yeah, I think it's about value. I think it's about market value and ensuring that we get what we believe is good market value for players. But for me, it's two-pronged. One, we've got to think about, we're a playing club, so we've got to think about the player first and foremost, and then the club, and we've got to derive the appropriate value that we have for our players. And Josh deservingly gets a lot of attention for the work that he's done in the last year. He's worked hard, but also Jack is a phenomenal manager that's given him that pathway and coached him appropriately along with the coaching team to ensure we're getting the maximum out of Josh. And that's the same for a lot of our young players and our pros as well. I think it's a team effort that a lot of people probably forget when you're talking about an individual player. All of the focus goes on that one player, but actually sometimes I look at all of the people that have helped them on that journey and helped their development, and I think that kind of encompasses what we want to be at this club, which is you know, a really collaborative club that helps get the best out of anyone that works in.
Yeah, I can imagine player welfare, everything being around the same age as Josh. I can imagine the numbers that are being speaking about it can be his head could be a bit scrambled by it, I can imagine, so it's just keeping him right through it. Yeah,
to a certain degree we have to take numbers out of the equation. We have to think about what's right for the club, what's right for Josh, and you know, whilst there is interest, you know, he's our player, and you know, we will treat every player and every staff member exactly the same. So what we have to bear in mind is a tender age, so you know, we have to act appropriately, but I'm sure Josh will be absolutely fine.
Yeah, just finally, what are your sort of aims here, both short term and long term? I can imagine you'll probably get obviously things this season you want to achieve, but also 2, 3, 4 years time as well.
Well, I think immediately short term it has to be about the return of supporters. It has to be about ensuring that I have a good relationship with the staff. here at the club, getting a better understanding of what the board's objectives are for me, but also what my views are on how quickly and how strategically we can grow the club over a short, medium and long term. Short term, here at Easter Road, I think what's really important is that we've got some small remedial works to the north and south stand. We've got kiosks that have been fitted out. We've got big screens that are being put in for the season. So there are a few short term kind of logistical operational considerations that we need to work through, which is obvious when you land this close to the start of a new season or into a new season. More medium term, I'm taking my time over because obviously I have to build a plan and a strategy moving forward to take this club to a new level or to the next level. And what we have to bear in mind is that Jack and Graham and the coaching staff and players have already achieved really, really good things in the last year. So what we need to do is ensure that is not the exception, that it's the norm, and we maintain high standards. We search for high performance across football and non-football areas of our business, and yeah, we move forward with that approach in mind.